Hello friends, welcome to the next video on unit number 3 2D elements. Here we need to do the study of the plane stress and the plane strain condition. This is a very important concept which we use into the finite element analysis, especially in a unit number 3 where we need to do the study of the 2D elements. Now what we need to do the study? First of all, we need to focus on what is meant by the principal stress and principal strain. So we already knowing this, we are in a SOMS theory of machine, SOMS strength of material, we have already studied a principal stresses and the principal strain. Through that when we are understanding a lot thing, or we are trying to solve the various problems. But whenever we are working on a plate, so on that plate when we applied the forces, when we are considering the any type of a plate, so this, let us take this is the plate, and on this plate when we are applying the forces, then there is a development of the stresses, now these stresses are applied somewhere. When I applied the force in this direction, then the stresses are developed, and that stresses are applied, or we can say that if instead of this force, if I use the traction force, if I use this is the traction force, so I could say that this is not the point load, or instead of that there is a UDL load on this surface. So when I am applying the UDL load on this surface, then the stresses are developed. So there is a possibility that this one is elongated, so there is a possibility of this one is elongated, but at the same time it one is contracted also. So this one is elongated in this direction, this one is elongated in this direction, and at the same time it one is reduced its size also. So there is the change into this direction also. So because of this, when the stresses are developed, then that stresses are applied on these surfaces, so stress is applied on this surface, stress is developed on this surface, and these stresses are called as the normal stresses. But now there is a need a perpendicular surface area, so this one is the perpendicular surface area. So this perpendicular surface area and the stresses held responsible when to develop the principal stresses and principal strain into my problem. So what is that? There are the, you knows very well, there are these stresses are applied not on a one plane but into the two plane. So sorry, this may be a two plane, means two dimension problem. This should be on a two plane, then or in different number of planes. So there is always the mutually perpendicular planes along the axis. Now here there is no z axis, there is no z axis. So there is the normal stresses, means this stress is developed, then there is this normal stress also developed, this stress also developed. Here also you can see this one is the your normal sigma y stress is developed, and this one is the tau shear stress also developed. So this shear stress also developed. Now if we go for this plane, so these are the planes, so these are the stresses developed, these are the stresses developed, and the resultant dimension, resultant stress is this one. So this is my resultant line, or I could say this is my resultant plane, and on this resultant plane the normal stresses are acting. Now on this one the normal stresses are acting, and these stresses are called as the principal stresses. So there is a possibility this is the sigma major or minor. So sigma major or sigma minor. So this one is the sigma minor. So that is called as the principal stresses along x-axis, principal stresses on no sorry principal stresses along normal, and principal along my principal plane. So that is the normal. So principal major stress and principal minor stresses. So these are to be calculated, these are to be considered here. Now through this one we can very easily just, this is the derivation process, that is the normal process. Shear stresses are developed, putting these values here, that is tau is equal to sigma is equal to, then my principal stress along this angle, that is the 2 theta, is also considered here, and finally I am getting the major principal stress and major minor principal stress. So that is sigma x is equal to sigma x plus sigma y upon 2 plus this is the under root of sigma x minus sigma y whole square upon 2 plus tau square tau xy whole square. So this is the my formulas I am deriving for this one. Now this is not too much important from the examination point of view, but just we refresh our knowledge of a sum. Now we move on the plane stress. Now what is meant by the plane stress? That is it is the state of a stress in which normal stresses and the shear stresses directed to the perpendicular to the plane are assumed to be zero. Now what does it mean? So here you can see the object. Now this is the object. This is the object. So here we are using the traction force along this axis. So traction along this axis. So there is the development of the stresses. So these stresses are developed on these stresses are applied on this surface, this surface, or the stresses applied on this surface. But there is no stresses developed on this surface because this is along the z-axis. This is along the z-axis. So when such a condition occurs that the stresses occurs along this surface. This we could say this is my y surface and this one is my x surface. So when the stresses are applied on these two plane or the two surfaces, not along z surface, such type of the condition is called as the state of plane stress case. It is a plane stress case, or I would simply say that there is no stress, no stress along no stress along z axis then that is the plane stress, or along thickness along thickness along thickness. So what that no stress along z axis or along the thickness, then that condition is called as the plane stress condition. That is the plane stress condition. And constitute law, we derived the constitute law, and this is the formula. We knows very well, that is the sigma is equal to that is stress is equal to D matrix multiplied by strain. So strain matrix. So this D matrix we need to calculate by using this formula. Keep in mind, I am not interested to derive this one, but we need to remember this formula because this formula we need to use in a problems a lot time. So this is the condition. So whenever I am interested to calculate a value of a D for plane stress, so whenever I am working on a plane stress condition, my D matrix is this one. So keep in mind, this is my formula for D matrix. Then we are moving on. What is mean by the plane stress condition? Means when we need to consider the plane stress. So thin walled cylinder filled with the fluid pressure. So such type of the condition, or the thin plates with a point loading or the distribution force applied over the thickness of the plate, that one are the condition of the plane stress. While the plane strain conditions are the analysis of the dams or the tunnels, then we need to consider the plane strain condition. Now what is meant by the plane strain condition? Now we are focusing on the plane strain. Again the same thing, plane strain. So state of a stress in which the strain normal to the xy plane and the shear strain, that is, are assumed to be zero. Means again the same thing, along z axis there is no strain. no strain. There is no strain along z axis. No strain, no strain along z axis. No strain along z axis or along thickness, or along thickness, then that is called as a plane strain condition along thickness. So whenever we are working with the problems where the condition occurs there is no strain along z axis or towards the thickness, then that is called as the plane strain condition. It is the meaning of that, the state of a stress in which the strain normal to the xy plane and plane, that is the zz, and the shear strain, that is the xz or the yz, are zero. So if we draw a diagram like this one, so this is my cube, this is my cube. Now there is no strain developed along this axis. This is my z axis, this is my z axis, this is my x and y axis, this is my y axis and this is my x axis. So this is my x axis, this is my x axis, this is my y axis, this is my y axis. So what it suggests, when this z is equal to 0, so strain develop along z axis is equal to 0, then that is called as the plane strain condition. And the problems for this one are that is the dams and tunnels. So whenever we need to design the dam or tunnels, we need to consider a plane strain condition. We need to consider the plane strain condition. I hope. And this is the your constitute law for the D. I have already explained, that is the stress is equal to D matrix multiplied by D matrix multiplied by your epsilon matrix, your epsilon, sorry, yeah, strain matrix. So this is the strain matrix. So this D matrix for my plane strain condition, you need to remember this formula again. There is a change into these two formulas. This is the plane strain condition, then we need to use the D matrix by using this formula. When there is a plane stress condition, then this is my constitute law for the D matrix. I hope you understand what is meant by the plane stress, what is meant by the plane strain, and the constitute D matrices for the plane stress and plane stress condition. Thank you to all.